We're on the road. Where transportation goes, community grows. Welcome to On the Road with the MTA. You know what that means. It's time for another exciting edition of On the Road with the MTA.
Well,
I'm Jay Gibbons alongside with Stephanie K.
Hey, I know you always say it's an exciting edition, and I always make a little nervous, like this is going to be exciting. This one I can guarantee is definitely going to be exciting because our guest today has so much passion. She really wants to help all the kids in Flint and get them off the streets into something more productive for her, and she's amazing at this. Jay, have you ever met Linnell McKinney?
Nope.
Well, you're in for a treat because you said today, Linnell, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
All right. And we also have a friend of hers right here, too, is Joy Peterman, and she is the Director of Development at the Salvation Army. Thank you for being here, Joy.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, guys. So anyway, Jay, they're together because together they're a dynamic duo. And there's so much going on in the community that Linnell can tell you about that's free for these kids. So, Linnell, your background, just give us a very quick update of where you came from, because I know you have amazing background.
Yeah, so I like to call it, I'm a dreamer. And so at the age of 6 years old, I knew that there was something different about my life. Multiple times I would just walk around the community, sit on the curve, and just experience this presence that I knew was greater than myself. At the age of 8, I knew everything that I was going to be doing in my life. It was like it was downloaded in my heart about you're going to play professional basketball. They didn't even have a girls' sports program. But I had this great imagination that I would travel around the world playing professional basketball. Now, at the age of 8 years old in the third grade, that's when I was bullied. People would call me names, I had a group of people that would follow me home, pull my hair, talk about me, tell the teacher that I was chewing gum. Because, back in the day, you couldn't chew gum.
Right, you could put the tip of your nose if you did.
Right.
Yeah, I made you wear it there.
And then I would have to stay after school for that, I remember the third grade, and I remember being 8 years old. And I remember the windows in my math class. Today I don't know much math because I would imagine myself. I would take myself outside of that classroom.
Huge imagination.
And use my imagination and travel around the world because I had to remember that if I focus on the kids, then I would, at that point in time, would just realize, wow, today is going to be one of those days that somebody's going to pull my hair. Aww. So I would imagine myself traveling around the world playing professional basketball.
Wow.
And so in that same years when I tried out for the boys basketball team, I became the first female to ever make the boys basketball team.
Oh my gosh. They didn't bully you? They didn't tease you about being a girl on the boys team?
No, they didn't in the third grade. But then fast forward, when I went to middle school, they still didn't have a girls sports program. So I became the first female to play on the boys middle school team. And I was in the 9th grade.
And you were just as good as any boy, weren't you? I was better?
Yeah, and I started.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And so I started.
Were they jealous of you? Were like, hey, no girls should be playing with us? Or were they proud of you?
There was 3 boys, and this was our away game. So on our way back home, you had to walk home.
Right.
Back then, we didn't have buses. And on my way back home, these 3 boys was following me. They would push me in the back,
Aww.
Why are you on the team? And I had to stop right there because I had 6 brothers and I didn't want them to follow me all the way home. I had 6 brothers and 1 sister and all of them were older than me. And so I said, for your sake, if we're going to fight, we're going to have to fight right here. I mean, that was the first time I had ever thought about fighting.
Wow.
But I didn't want them to find out, that once they follow me home, then my brothers were there, my sister, They
were going to get a whooping.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
so what happened? Did you guys fight?
Well, no, we didn't fight.
Good.
But the next day, in class, I saw one of the guys that came in, and I was like, "Wow, what happened to him?" So he had a red eye. He had a
black lip, like a big lip.
Big lip,
yeah,
So I was like,
big lip.
"What happened to him?" And one of the girls said, "Well, some kind of way your brothers found out."
Oh.
Uh-oh. But
so it never bothered you again, did they?
No, I didn't. I never had that problem again. But then. In high school, they finally started the girls sports program. So I made the varsity team, all city, all state, all valley, all conference.
Wow.
But they didn't have Title IX. So I had to eventually, pay my first way through college. Now, at the same time, I'm not thinking about, I have to go to college. I didn't know the process. I just knew I had this dream to continue to play basketball. And so my first year in college, I was all conference at Fair State. And then Fair State played Saginaw Valley, and Fair State beat Saginaw Valley. Saginaw Valley recruited me to come to Saginaw Valley the second year, and they would give me a partial scholarship.
Oh, nice.
So, and then when I played for Saginaw Valley, Kentucky State University found out some kind of way about me. And a gentleman came and said, hey, Kentucky State want to give you a full ride.
Oh, my gosh.
So at this point, I'm just thinking, okay, as long as I can keep playing basketball, I'm okay,
Yes.
So I went down there and made the team, of course. And so that coach asked me, did I want to try out for the Olympics? And so, I said, oh, yeah. If it's got anything to do with basketball, yeah. And so I tried out for the Olympics. That was 1980. Out of 280-something Americans, they only picked 7. So I was one of those 7.
Oh, wow.
And then they invited 20 All-Americans, some of the best. So 27 of those, they only picked 15. So I was one of those 15 that made the final cut in 1980.
Impressive.
Wow.
But they boycotted that year.
Oh, no.
Yep, they boycotted. So I'm there down in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and this is just a part of the basketball part, you know. The dream, I'm talking about the dream that I had when I was 8 years old. Now here I am, 22 years old, leaving college, and at the Olympic tryouts in Colorado Springs, one of the coaches, she told the team, she said, ask Linnell to come and meet me. So I went in there and I met with her. I didn't know what was going to happen. She said, you know what she said?
What?
What's your dream?
Oh.
Now here I am, 22 years old. I didn't know, what the meeting was going to be about. They just boycotted the Olympics.
Oh, it's a shame.
And so I said, I want to play professional basketball. Now, all this time being bullied, being jumped on, couldn't get a full ride scholarship at the beginning, but I just continued on with that dream.
Follow your dreams.
And I continued on having this imagination to travel around the world playing professional basketball. I said, I want to play professional basketball. She said, all right. She said, they have what we call the WBL, Women's Basketball League, that had just gotten started. She said, would you like to play?
Yeah, it's
Well,
basketball, of course. No-brainer.
Exactly. So went back to school, and then she called me. And she said, somebody's going to be calling you within a week's time. And so, I sprinted from, because back then they had the, what do you call those phones? The not
Rotary
the
dialed?
Yeah, they had
Like
the
cords?
The little bag phones?
Yeah. So, I was hung the phone up, sprinted down the hallway, screaming, hollering, yeah. So tried out, then I made the team. St. Louis Streaks is what it was called. First round, first pick, first female to come out of Flint to play professional basketball.
Oh, my gosh, that's such
Wow.
an inspiration.
Amazing.
But yes, isn't it? Did you ever get a chance to go back for the Olympics? Could you try it again or not?
Well, no, because what happened was after I played in the WBL here in the United States, that they folded. And so when they folded, the same lady contacted me, and she said, she was coach out of Kansas, college coach. She said, listen, they folded, the league is folded, but they need 15 Americans. It ended up being 14 Americans and 1 Canadian to travel to Europe to play in the European League. Out of all of these hundreds, maybe even thousands of young ladies that was playing, coming out of college, and then playing in the WBL, they only wanted 15. And she asked me, would I like to go? Out of all of the hundreds and maybe even thousands of young ladies that was playing basketball at that time, they only chose 15. And I was one of those 15.
That's so cool.
Wow.
And so I traveled over to Europe, and I landed in Rome. I didn't speak English. I didn't speak Italian, and they didn't speak English. So I ended up at one of the teams, and that was the wrong team
Oh, no.
But I ended up playing there, became the most valuable player in the world for 5 years that I played over
gosh.
there. And I traveled all around the world, in every country, on every continent. Everywhere. all over the world, flying, traveling.
So what
playing
brought you
professional.
back here to Flint then? If you were traveling all around the world, you
So-
could have been anywhere.
The same year, 8 years old, I also had this dream to work with young people. So my first youth program, I started when I was in middle school. And I would travel around to different schools and I would speak and talk to young people about dreaming, and dream big. And I organized a travel team called Traveling All Stars. And we would travel around and work with young people. So that was my second dream. And my third dream was to be a motivational speaker. And my fourth dream was to work with, to build a youth activity center. But I'm working with multiple organizations. I have worked with, and right now currently working with the Salvation Army. And we've renovated that building out there on Coldwater Road. But working, my vision to come back after I finished playing professionally. And I came back and I started my own youth program called New Direction.
And I hear there's a lot of activities, and they're all free for these kids. How
Free
can you
activities.
afford that?
Well, Salvation Army supports the staff portion of it. But what we do is we work with partners that have mastered, whether it's art, whether it's music, whether it's sports, whether it's cooking, and we got violin, we got tutoring, we got fine art, we got everything that a child's heart would desire. It's called the Gift Discovery Program, helping these young people discover their gift, master and develop their gift, so that they can realize their dream. And then not only realize their dream, we have a STEM program that we're going to be doing VR, where they can become certified electricians, certified.
That's great.
I mean, everything
Yes, that's so
that
needed.
a child's heart's desire is to give them an opportunity
So
to
how
be
can-
able to dream.
If there's a parent listening right now and think my child needs that, I want to get them off the street, maybe they're in a gang or something, they want to
Yeah.
clean them up. How do they get a hold of you? How do they get part of this, or to be part of this program?
Yes, so it's located, Salvation Army Life Center, 360
Okay.
Life Center is located on Coldwater Road, 1475 Coldwater Road, Flint 48505, right down the street from Beecher High School. And so all of they can come in between the hours of 11 and 6 to sign their child up,
Any age range? Is there an age?
5 to 17.
Okay, and there's
5
no
to
charge
17.
at all for any
No
of this?
charge,
My
absolutely
gosh,
free.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
How long has this been going on?
I've been there for going on 3 years, or is it a little
Right.
over 3 years?
Have you seen it grow? Like the word of mouth, the kids will tell their kids, and then before you know it, they're full.
We have since I've been there, we've had over 400 and some kids to register.
Wow.
But we average, I would say weekly, we average about 125 kids weekly.
Nice.
Because we have different programs on Mondays and Wednesdays, different programs on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So some kids might come Monday, Wednesday, some kids might come Tuesday, Thursday.
So if somebody's listening right now, maybe I know my sister does yoga or somebody does something like that, could they call you and say, hey, I will donate my time, my services,
yes,
and I'll come and teach
for
them
sure.
yoga or art or whatever they can do?
Yeah, they can contact me, 810-Linnell McKinney, 810-695-1006, 810-695-1006. We would love to have volunteers that come in who have mastered something, have a passion, to work with young people, to teach them their craft.
That's the same number to call if they want to volunteer, donate, or even have a child attend.
Yes.
It's all the same.
Yes.
Your number's going to be really busy.
Yeah.
It's always busy, and I don't mind, because I know that it's important, and I would prefer to talk to the people to let them know exactly what we do, why we're doing it, and to let them know how we appreciate, their desire to work with us.
As I was a single mom, I can imagine how grateful these parents must be that you're taking their child in and teaching them a skill and getting them off the streets. So have you had any success stories since you first started? Have you had time enough to see if one may have gone on to be an electrician or something?
Oh, we have one young lady. She's probably around 20, 21. And she's been our program since I started. And she's on one of our videos, and she talks about how, to her, we're like another set of parents.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
And so she came in and she had some small behavior problems, but now she's in the process. We're giving her an opportunity to work with another company that's going to train her to give her a job So what we're doing is not only are we working with them to develop their craft, but we're working with other organizations to not just to find jobs, but to find some kind of like the ikigai concept, where you find something that you're passionate about. You can serve the community. You can make a living. But it's something that you dream about doing. And so I could tell you so many stories about how we have impacted so many young people.
I bet.
Yes.
You should write a book.
I have a
that's
book.
good.
I do have a book called Motivated to Dream Big, but I think this right here is going to be a book I think that needs to be written
About the stories.
About
this,
the- yes.
Each individual story. I think that'd be
Yes,
very nice.
that would
now,
be interesting.
I know you spoke at our Rotary, the Genesee Valley Rotary, and then today you spoke at the Flint and Genesee Chamber.
Yes.
And both times you had something interesting and different to talk about. The one video that we were getting ready to leave the Genesee Valley Rotary, and Joy said, "Do we have time for one more video?" I thought, how much time is it going to take? But I'm so glad we did, because that video was so impressive, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen America's Got Talent, right?
Yep.
Okay, well, these young kids were from Detroit.
Yes.
And the host of the show, what is his name? The host of the show is from Flint, Michigan. And
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews, thank you. And he's from Flint, Michigan. And he started to cry after these kids performed. And he said, "That's where I came from, Flint, Michigan." And he went over and pushed the gold buzzer, gave me goosebumps. That was so sweet. So how can they watch that on Can they watch that as, what's just America's Got
It's a
Talent?
YouTube that we have.
Is it on a website they can page? I mean, like a Facebook page they can go to, or?
I believe that it is a link to it at any rate.
It's
and
worth
then
looking
the
up.
website.
Yeah.
At the Life Center, the Beecher Salvation Army Beecher location.
Okay.
You'll be able to see it from there.
Or just Google it to say America's Got Talent, Detroit
For sure.
kids.
Exactly.
Gets the gold buzzer from
Gold buzz.
Yeah.
Because I
Wow.
think it was twice. Was it twice that they
Well,
won
they
the
got
bid?
it twice.
They got it twice. But he
that's
did
the
it
first
the
one.
first time.
Yeah,
the
he
first
did.
one.
That was
first
very impressive.
golden buzzer.
That gave me goosebumps. That was
Yeah.
really wonderful.
Yeah.
So now you're also doing the Gus Macker. What's that? I think I'm tired. You think I'm tired? Oh my
Everybody
gosh.
knows what Gus Macker is. Come on now.
I won't even have you edit that out. That was too funny. Gus Macker is in 2025, of course. It's going to be in Flint, July 25th to the 27th. That's a long time.
Yeah.
And I think the MTA is helping to provide some transportation or to sponsor, but I do know that it's a great event. And tell us more about that.
So the Gus Macker is the largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament in the country. Flint, it used to be here in Flint years ago.
Right, I remember that.
And it was one of the largest events in Flint, in the country. And so they were gone for 20 years. And I brought it back. This will be the 5th year.
Okay.
But with the Salvation Army, this will be the 2nd year. And it's the largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament in the country. It is amazing. It's so electrifying. There's so many people out there, ages 8 to 70.
Oh, my goodness, really?
Yeah, so you have, all the age groups.
Love it.
And, and it's a fundraiser. This is how we raise funds.
And so how much does this cost to go in?
Yeah, it's, how much is it, Joe?
The teams are $180
And that's
per
for
team.
three
But if
people?
you want to come out and you just want to support, there's no cost
Okay, you come,
at all
just
for
come
the
watch and
weekend.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
It's
gonna
four players on each team.
be, so explain the 3-on-3 then.
Yeah. So it's 3-on-3, and I think it's up to 15 points by ones or up to 15 minutes, whichever one comes first. But if we were on teams and you needed a break, then I'll come in.
Gotcha. Okay, like
or
a tag
somebody
team.
needed a break or something like that. That's where the 4 comes in at. Or if somebody accidentally gets hurt or something, you always got to have a replacement. Oh. So it's 3-on-3, but they have 4 for a substitute.
Okay. Well, that's going to be Friday, July 25th, and the early registration is from 3 till 7. But can they? Where else can they register? It's before
Macker.com. Macker.com.
MACKER.com.
Macker.com.
And then just stroll to the Flint location and have all the details there, pictures from last year.
And if they have one of these little postcards that you made up, there's a little QR code. They can just do that as well.
QR code.
Well,
yeah.
Joy, I know you've been at the Salvation Army for how long now?
10 years.
Oh my gosh!
I know.
Well, this must be a lot of hard work, I'm sure, but rewarding too to be able to give back like this.
This has really fired up the entire team.
Good.
The whole opportunity to serve these young people. And Linnell, of course, she keeps us on our toes. We have our pink shirts on today. So
Oh, you do? Yeah. I'll have to take a picture before you leave.
there's nothing that can inspire an individual other than seeing a child succeed.
Absolutely.
And Linnell and her team are doing it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really made the difference in my approach to my job, to sponsorships, to aiding Becca, and we're working as a team for volunteers. It is truly a team effort at the Life Center for all of these, for the concert that we're going to be bringing in. And I just couldn't be happier about being on a team.
Well, I bet. Now, can they take a tour of the facility to see like what is going on there?
Yep, absolutely. Yes. Again, that's arranged through Linnell and 810-695-1006.
Wow, look at that. She memorized it.
Yeah, you have to.
I bet, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we work together. Joy, and the whole team has adopted, these, not just the program at the Life Center, because it is a different concept than, there's only 8 in the country, if I'm not mistaken, 360 Life Centers. It's a little bit different concept than the traditional Salvation Army. And so I would have to say without Joy, I don't want to call out everybody's name because I might miss it, but of course, Major Randy, Carla, Becca, those are the ones that work closely with me. Because it's 2 separate sites, but just one organization, but 2 separate sites here in the Genesee County. But I'm gonna tell you, they have adopted this ideal of giving our young people an opportunity to dream, because the programs that we offer now, they didn't necessarily have those kind of programs. It's an after school program, 3:30 to 4:30. We feed them dinner. Then we have affirmations.
Expensive
Yep. And then not only do we have affirmations, but we give each child an opportunity, to talk about something that they've learned. Give each child an opportunity. We give out gifts. It's amazing. It's the best place for a child to be.
It sounds like it.
It is.
I wish I was under 17 so I could go enjoy too.
And just to let you know, the Life Center really is living intentionally for excellence, which is a program and a mindset that all of us have adopted. Mm-hmm. And I think if every person on earth lived their life with that intention of being excellent,
that's amazing.
It would change the world. And that's exactly what they're trying to do here for the kids.
That's
and
wonderful.
It's working.
That's
very impressive. Every time I hear you speak, it's just always very, very inspiring. So I told people, you're never going to be bored when you listen to her speak. That was awesome. I know you guys are both super busy trying to get this, all these programs going and what you have to do. So thank you for taking the time to come in here.
Thank you.
If I could add just one more thing. You had asked Linnell if she ever went out for the Olympics again.
Yeah.
And she didn't tell you the full truth. So I'm just going to call her out on that right now.
You're right. You got a good memory.
So tell us about that.
Well, so they do have the Senior Olympics.
Oh.
And it's National Senior Olympics. And so I did win the gold medal in the Senior Olympics.
Congratulations.
Yeah, wow.
That's huge. How could you forget that?
That's a small little detail she left out.
You won the gold.
Yeah, we won the gold medal. We won the national gold medal, and then we also won the Michigan gold medal. I won the Michigan gold medal twice, but the national gold medal, I won Senior Olympics.
I can see like a statue being erected of you.
I'm telling you.
A movie made about this.
Aren't you?
She has a right to brag. She's
trying out again this year?
Yeah, so we qualified to go. And I think it would be a little bit of conflict because it's the same week. It's 10 days where you in another state. This year it'll be in Iowa. Last year, the year that I won the gold medal, it was in Florida.
Oh, nice.
So this year is in Iowa, and so it's the same week of the Gus Macker.
Oh.
So I would have to go, and then come back in time for the Gus Macker. So.
Could you do it?
Well, I don't know. If it was in Florida again, I probably would like to, but I don't know about Iowa.
You might be surprised. Try something you've never done before.
Yeah.
They always said,
have you ever been to Iowa?
Yeah, my dad's from Iowa. So we used to go to, what is it, Des Moines, Iowa?
Yeah, Des Moines, yeah.
I think it's Des Moines, yeah. So I've been there. But
I've heard a statement that when's the last time you did something for the first time in your life? So think about that. When's the last time you did something the first time in your life? Go to Indiana or Idaho? Idaho for the first time. You can go.
Yeah. Well, you can go to Idaho too, but I would recommend she's stuck on Iowa.
That's those eyes things. I told you how tired. I have not slept in 2 nights. I know. My
That's
mind
okay.
is not firing.
Idaho's a cool
Makes it more
place.
fun.
Iowa's a cool place. Real good.
Yeah,
Right. Indiana, Iowa, whatever, all the eyes.
yeah. I think I'm gonna be a little bit too busy doing.
Yes, I think you would be.
What do you call it? The Detroit Youth Choir concert and the Gus Macker. All of those mixed in with within the week's time. So.
So when you're doing things like this, I'll ask you both, Joy and Linnell, like you just said, there's going to be a concert. There's going to be other things. Where can people find this, like items that you're going to be doing, like the programs?
Well, as far as the concert goes, that's being currently developed right now by the FIM,
Okay.
Flint Institute of Music,
Sure.
for the Capitol Theater. As soon as that's ready, that site is ready, then we will really do a big promo and push for that event.
But I know you
it
have
is-
things going on all the time. So can they find it at the Salvation Army, or is there a different website?
It will be on both our
Facebook?
websites
Okay.
and the information, but for sure you can find it on the FIM
Okay.
events page
give
as
us-
soon as it's complete.
Give us both your websites. What are they again?
For
Salvation Army.
Salvation Army.
Genesee County. It's really a long one.
Okay.
So if you just go in and search the Salvation Army Genesee County, will pop up, and if
Okay.
you search for Flint Beecher, Linnell's
Beecher.
will pop up as well.
Good to
Yeah.
know.
Good.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
You're an
Thank you.
inspiration.
No problem.
I have a feeling it's not our last time interviewing you. I think
Oh,
you're
no,
gonna
I
come
think we
back
should
in.
bring both of these on again.
Yeah,
They're
like,
great.
I could talk all day.
I know.
Well,
so-
you can if you want to. Keep on talking. We got plenty of zeros and ones over here. So
We'll have to have you back on for sure.
But I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure,
really
you are
appreciate
welcome.
it.
But thank you to both of you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you for listening. Listen every week as we bring you something interesting like this. Like you said, see, it wasn't exciting.
Very exciting.
Wasn't it? For sure. And we like to bring you something from the community that's helpful and that's going to make your life a little better right here with On the Road with the MTA.
you've been listening to On the Road with the MTA. For more information on our services and community outreach, visit us online anytime at www.mtaflint.org. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. The MTA, your community, your connection, your way.